Hey guys, it's Richard from the Pokéfamily here again. I think I've decided to do an information video. It's been a while since I've done one, and kind of one of the reasons for that is because the last big news update was the introduction of some new raids, and I took some time to try and decide how I actually felt about it. Now this video is going to be more about the latest news update, which is like a data miner or somebody who's pretty good at finding information from the game has dug in the game and found items that are fully rendered. They're in there, there's images for them, and showing us what's there basically, and that's pretty exciting. I'm excited about that one. But as far as the raid situation, well, I can see why they did it. The new raids, the Polyraths, etc., the Victory Bells, they wanted to give casual players and players who don't have as much time the opportunity to fill their Pokédexes. And let's be honest, that's a fairly cool thing for Niantic to do. Not everyone has the opportunity to play as much as I do. And it's not to say that some of the new ones that they've added aren't interesting at all. For example, the Gen 1 starters, yes, they existed in their fully evolved forms as level 4 raids. However, a level 1 raid is much easier to do, and you can solo it, and you can get very, very good candidates for making a Venusaur or a Charizard or anything. So that's pretty cool because, well, they're not bad, really. They're not bad. They're not the best examples of Pokemon of their types, but they're not bad. Got a few notes that I've written down and they fell off my thing. So, yeah, Sableye as a level 2. You can raid that and try and get shiny, much like the level 1 Magikarp raids. That's not a bad thing. I mean, you get better IVs from raid monsters, so that's pretty cool. We've got Omastar and Porygon as level 3s, which that's not bad. Porygon will get an evolution to Porygon 3 or whatever in Gen 4, which will probably max out at about CP 3000, which again is not bad. So, you know, Porygon 3 might have some uses, so getting candies or good candidates to evolve, that's pretty cool. Omastar works as a counter for some legendaries. You know, I saw it used against maybe Entei and Moltres, if you've got the right one. So they're not bad, and at level 4 they've given us Golem. Golem was one of the best counters against all the legendary birds. So if the legendary birds come back around and people want to raid them, they're there. So in my opinion, the new raids, after a good long period of introspection about it, I quite like them. But on to the main topic of today's news, the items that have been found in the game. Now, the most interesting one, and this is the one that I'm going to start with, is the Master Ball. Now, in the main series game, the Master Ball, it was pretty much an automatic capture. People regularly save them for legendaries. I remember in the early days, because I played red or blue, I can't remember which one it was, because my friend had the other one and we swapped. I can't remember which one I had. Everyone always saved it from Mewtwo. They always did. So if they introduce Master Balls into the game, one Master Ball ever would be pretty, I mean, what are you going to save that for? Probably, is it Arceus? The Pokemon God from Gen 4, if that ever gets introduced in the game, that's probably what I'd save it for. But I can't see there being only one ever. I mean, look at the legendary situation. So I would think that they're gonna give you opportunities to get more. However, I will say this: I do think they should be difficult to get. I think they should be rare. I think maybe even luck based. One of the fun things about this game is you need some luck to get cool stuff. I don't dislike that, so maybe luck. The other things, you've got X attack and X defense. Depending on which of the main series games you look at, they do a variety of things, but at the core they raise your attack or raise your defense, and that's what they're probably going to do in Pokemon Go. I mean, you have an attack stat and you have a defense stat. There might be some of the things in the game that can raise your stat above 15, so that is probably going to be a good thing, but they're temporary items, so how long will they last? I don't know. X Defense definitely would need a time, because you're probably going to use them when you're putting gym defenders in, so who knows. I mean, it's interesting that these things are in the game. I really like the idea of more items. I like the idea of more things for Niantic to put in boxes during events. I think I'm probably one of the few people out there that is supportive of the whole super incubator only in boxes during events, because they give them a uniqueness, they give them a flavour. It's not just an item that's repeatable like a regular incubator or a lucky egg or something. Plus, let's be honest, Niantic are in this to make some money. They're a business, and if they don't keep making money, the game will disappear. So they want to encourage in-app purchasers, if I can get my words out. It's not like, say, Call of Duty or FIFA or any of the other big games where they get a big outlay out of you to start with, 40, 50, 60 pound to buy those games. It costs you nothing to download Pokemon Go, so they need to make some money to pay their developers and etc., their coders and all that. And then the final two items that was found are two berries, a Blockberry and a Whipperberry. Now again, in the main series games, these things did various things. You've got, they were mainly using things like blending and crushing and cooking and stuff, but are those things going to be in the game? If they put blending in the game to make blocks, they were using competitions in the game where you competed against other players to see which of your, between the two Pokemon, was coolest or was the most beautiful or cute, and all stats like that. And in some of the games that was tied to evolution. I think even the Gen 3 Pokemon, it was tied to evolution. The I can't remember the name of it. It's a bit like Gyarados. It's like, starts as a little fish and then grows into something quite huge. Gives me the M. I can't remember its name, but yeah, it was tied to that, I believe, in one of the early games. I'm sure I've read that somewhere. So yeah, I mean, the berries that are in the game currently, I don't think they do anywhere near the same thing as they do in the main series game. So the Blockberries and the Whipperberries, they could do anything. I mean, what kind of thing do we need in the game? We've got something that increases your catch rate, we've got something that increases your candy, we've got something that stops it from moving to make things an easier target, maybe a rarer candy that increases your Stardust intake, but that's wishful thinking. I think that's just something that I want, isn't it? I want Stardust. So I can't think of anything else. What else do we need it to happen? I mean, no, I don't know. Here's an interesting idea. How about a berry that you feed to a Pokemon that you're about to catch, and if you catch it, it increases the spawn rate of that type of Pokemon around you for a short amount of time. That's probably wishful thinking. We'd all be out there catching Dratinas and using them, but it's an interesting idea. I know that's off the top of my head. I mean, who knows what these berries could be used for. So, new items. For me, that's pretty exciting. The Master Ball, what they're going to do with that is really interesting to me. I want to know what they're going to do with it, because if it's one ever, I might even be reluctant to use it ever. What happens if I use it on an Arceus and then they introduce something that's even better and even harder to catch in a later generation? I mean, they're still Gamefreak, they're still producing. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. I'll see you next time. Richard out.